Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Terror to Triumph. My name is Alfonso, and this is my lovely co-host Storm over here. How you doing tonight, Storm?
Hello, how y'all doing?
We got a good show for y'all tonight. I don't know. I be getting excited when we got good information to send out, but we got something good for y'all tonight. It's very, 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 very impactful. You know, this is all about surviving trauma. So we wanted to give you like the things or some tools you could use if you had just been through a traumatic experience. This would be for the parents of children who have gone through some sort of trauma, physical, verbal, mental, or sexual abuse, or something of that matter. These are some things you can do or teach your children to do to learn how to cope. In any case, it's strongly recommended that you have your child see a therapist, a trauma informed therapist, but one that specializes in children. So this episode is for all the parents who may have or would like to prepare in the worst case scenario event should your child become victim to some sort of abuse. These are the things that you could do for your child to help your child learn how to cope. So this is a very serious episode. We're gonna try to power through it because as survivors, we it's gonna tug on our strings, true enough. But this could help save a child's life. You think a lot of children commit suicide and you be like, oh, that's so sad. Oh, where were the parents at? Blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, us as survivors, we generally don't tell people that things are going on like that with just sharing that knowledge. You know, we don't do that. We bottle it up and try to internalize it and keep it in, and we're too young to do that because we don't know how it's affecting us. So you might not know if your child has been affected, and it will become a problem for your child lashing out later on, but you won't understand why. So this episode is to help if you found the red flags and see that your child has had some kind of trauma happen to them, or you might know somebody who is going through it with their children. You can tell them about this information and share it to everybody that you know because it's something that anybody should have in their repertoire to share with their family, friends, and loved ones in case something does happen. God forbid anything happen, but that's what's going on. Announcements before we start the show. Go and check out www.peltsemporium. That's PELTSEMPORIUM.com. That's our affiliate website, and we sell merchandise on that site. The sales of the merchandise on that site helps to fund Terror to Triumph. So if you head on over there, again, that's www.peltsemporium.com. You can go over there, peruse to your liking, find something, purchase, and you can wear a piece of article or something that supports helping trauma survivors find information and connect the dots to get to the people that can help them. So without further ado, one more announcement. I almost forgot this. We have another special guest coming up. May 9th, we will have Dr. David Marcus on the show. He's a psychologist and he's been practicing a very long time, 30 plus years. And we will have him on a show for you guys. He's also a survivor. So you're getting firsthand information from people who have transcended their trauma and into the lifestyle that they are living now as they are flourishing. They've overcome the trauma and they have triumphed over it. So I'm bringing to you people who are also survivors and they're sharing their stories to give you hope and insights to see what they did. Maybe something might click for you or work for you. So bringing these people to you, you will have Dr. David Marcus on May 9th 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Terror to Triumph. Okay, now with all that said, I know I talk a lot. So I'm sorry, but I had to get that information to y'all because that's very critical. Also, we are on Buzzsprout. If you go look up buzzsprout.com, search for Terror to Triumph there, you can subscribe to our platform and check out the bonus episodes and things like that because all episodes are not broadcast open to the public. And so if by doing that, you also help keep the conversations going. So I believe that is it for the announcements. We will go ahead on get into the meat of this subject, okay? So the topic tonight, when you just suffered trauma, the immediate aftermath of childhood sexual and physical abuse. So if you've just experienced sexual or physical abuse, you're in shock. That's the first thing. You are in shock. Your body doesn't know what to do. Your mind is fragmented. You might not even have words for what happened yet, right? So tonight we're talking about the immediate aftermath, like what happens right after. What is your body going through right after? Things that you might need to know and what you might need to do right now if you're going through it right now. If you're in a crisis situation, dial 988 for suicide and crisis or call your local 911. If you are in a safe place, if you can get away to a safe place and protect yourself in that safe place, call. If you're in immediate danger, call 911, of course. If you can get away and separate yourself, like go to a friend or neighbor's house, you can dial 911 or call 988 to talk to somebody there. Those lines are 24 hours nationwide in the United States. Okay. So, okay, this is deep. So I'm gonna try to calm down. What's going on with you after the trauma is not your fault. I repeat, it is not your fault. What happened to you is not your fault. Say that to yourself right now. We'll say it again before we're done, but it's important for you to etch that into your mind. It's not your fault. You did not cause this to happen to you. Okay? When you experience sexual or physical abuse, your nervous system goes into what we call survival mode. This is not weakness. This is biology. Your body might freeze, like you can't move. You go rigid. You can't scream. This is a survival response, not consent. Okay? Don't confuse that. You might fight. You might push back. You resist. You try to escape. This is your body protecting itself. You might flee. You might run away. You might disassociate and leave your body mentally, like you're not there. Or you might fawn, might completely go numb, or you just might comply and do what the abuser wants because you just want to get it over with. This is survival, not acceptance. Okay, all of these are normal. All of these responses are completely normal. They're your nervous system trying to keep you alive. Right after the abuse, you might not feel anything. You might go numb. You might feel like you're watching yourself from outside of your body, right? This is dissociation. Your mind is protecting you from overwhelming pain. It's a gift from your nervous system, even though it feels wrong. You might not cry. You might not feel scared. You might feel empty, but that's normal. That's what shock is. You think about it. To relate it, if you're someone who hasn't experienced this type of trauma like we have, obviously, but if you're somebody who hasn't experienced this trauma, liken it to being in a car accident. When you're in a serious car accident, you don't know if you're really hurt. You have adrenaline running, your mind's racing, you're trying to get a grip on what just happened, but you could have a broken bone. But you're so pumped up with adrenaline, you don't notice it. You don't notice the pain. It's a similar situation to that, but the psychological effect might be a little bit different because now we're talking about something personal that's happening to your body, not just a car accident. This is not an accident. This is something somebody intentionally did to you. So I just wanted to liken the situation to the other, but show you the difference. Okay, so your body might show signs of trauma immediately. You might feel pain or soreness, especially in areas where you were touched or hurt. I don't need to go into detail on that. I think y'all get the idea of what I'm talking about there. You might have difficulty breathing or shortness of breath, like you can't catch your breath because you're so traumatized by the situation. You might feel nausea or stomach pain. You might feel sick, like you're going to vomit or something like that. You might feel shaking. I don't know if you can actually see that, but you might shake. Your hands might shake, or you might shiver, trembling, rapid heart beating fast. Feel like it's about to beat outside of your chest sometimes. You might feel cold or hot. You might have difficulty moving or feel paralyzed, like there's a tremendous weight on you, like your limbs automatically just got heavy. You might have the urge to urinate or defecate. You might have headaches or dizziness. All of these are normal responses to trauma. Your body is in survival mode. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you what you should not do. If you have just been abused, do not shower or bathe. No, you want to wash it away. You feel dirty, like it's a filth on you that you can't get off you. It's understandable. But the evidence matters if you choose to report it to the police. You have to wait. I know that's difficult, but you have to wait. The police have what's called a rape kit, and that can pinpoint who and prove that you were victimized by the person that you are saying victimized you. So you can be exonerated and not just to be said that it was consensual or whatever. They can tell. But if you wash yourself because you're feeling so dirty and just defiled, then you're washing away the evidence the police could use against your attacker. So this is very important. Do not wash or bathe if you plan on going to the police and filing. You have to do that like ASAP too. I just want to put that in there. Okay. Do not change your clothes. Same reason. Do not go to sleep if you can help it. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but your nervous system needs to process what just happened. You need time. Don't blame yourself. The abuser chose to hurt you, not the other way around. That's on them, not you. Okay? Your body is responding exactly the way it should. You're alive, and that's what matters right now. So when I experienced my trauma immediately afterwards, I couldn't. I was in a moment. I was in shock because I my mind couldn't process the whys of why it happened. I couldn't get myself to move. I don't know how long I stayed in that bathroom, to be honest with you. It was a long time. I was afraid to even come out of the bath. But the fear was tremendous fear. Yeah, so I did feel like my body was heavy. Like I couldn't move myself from the spot I was in. So, Storm, I know this is a heavy topic tonight, but what did you wish someone would have told you about what your body was doing, like immediately right after?
I know I was young and I was scared. So the things that you had told everybody to do, I didn't have nobody to say do these things because I was scared to say anything. I was scared to come out, you know.
Hmm.
Uh, I was dreading. So what you gonna do? I had a knife pulled up to my throat. Like, if you say something, then I'm gonna kill you. So what you were supposed to do? You know, lived my life in fear for 2 years because this person didn't graduate. They hunted me for 2 years. So what you supposed to do when somebody chooses not, they supposed to graduate it, but they choose not to graduate because they wanted to stay at the school, fail, and haunt you. And then go with your best friend so that they can get closer to hunt you. You know, the moment that that person was prosecuted because of another person that had the guts, that had the courage. And if I could hug that little girl, because she was younger, she was a little girl, she was a 12-year-old. And if I could have hugged her, I would have hugged her. I would have rained, I would have showered around her. I just would have just hugged her for the power that she had. She took her power and I didn't, you know. I froze. I lived in fear for 2 years. And I tried to laugh. I tried to live a normal life, but I didn't have a normal life. Because every day I went to school, I had to look at that person. And it was hard on me because my cousin didn't even know that this was going on. And I know that she would have stuck up for me. She would have did a lot of stuff for me, but I still was in constant fear. Even though my cousin was the big bad wolf, I still felt like, you know, that I feared this person. And I know my
Hmm.
cousin would have went through any arms to protect me, but I didn't even know how to pull and tug on her because I walked on behind her and she walked up in front of me and I walked on the whole time behind her, just with tears, crying. So it was hard on me, for real. And it was not pleasant at all. So when you struggling or you dealing with people that, you know, come up against you, it's a hard situation. So you have to just
Okay.
know that
I
hold
don't know
on
if Storm
because,
is here or
get
not,
help. I tell anybody,
but
if your child is going through something, the signs is there because you pull
we will
back.
continue.
You don't talk to nobody. You begin to go silent. You go numb.
Storm, are you there?
And you don't want to have anything to do with nobody, and your happiness turn into this depressed little person. So if you see this happy-go-lucky child,
Okay.
just know
I will
that
continue.
when that child
So
starts to change and the
the
attitude
next
start to
segment
change and
is
they're pulling back, something
what
done
to do
happen.
right now.
And
Immediate
just like,
safety and support.
Alfonso was saying that, get yourself
Okay.
immediately somewhere
If you're still
to
in danger,
the hospital,
get to
so that
safety
they can
first.
get the police out so they can perform the
That's the
kit.
most
You
important
have
part.
24 hours for them to perform the kit. So do it, like they say, you have to do it
If
immediately because you have 24 hours before your body
everything comes
doesn't
after
hold
that, of
on
course.
to,
So get to safety
that
first
stuff,
if you're in
and that's
danger.
why they say you can't go to sleep, you can't
Now,
really use the restroom or whatever. You have to go immediately to,
if the
get it
abuser is
done
still
so
there,
that you can have the 20, because
leave
it's
if you
24
can
hours to
safely do
this,
so.
24 hours.
Go to a neighbor's house,
And just know
friend's
that,
house, a public place. Like I said earlier, call 911 if you're in
Alfonso.
immediate danger. Tell an adult you trust, a teacher, a coach, counselor,
So
or a
as
relative.
usual, sometimes we have technical difficulties, everybody. So,
We're having a
until
bit
he
of
come back,
technical
the show must
difficulties
go
here. I
on.
just want to make
So
sure
what do you do now? Immediately safety and
we are
support.
on the same page,
If you're
Storm
still
and
in
I,
danger, get to safety first. Everything else comes after that. If the
because it
abuse is
looks
still
like,
there, leave if you
although
can,
we're
safely
live, it
do
looks
so.
like the
Go to
live
the neighbor's house, a friend's house, a public place. Call 911 if you're immediately danger. Tell an adult you trust, a teacher, a coach, a counselor, or a relative. If you can't leave right now, find a safe space in the house, lock a door, text someone, do what you need to do to protect yourself. You need to tell someone. I know that's terrifying. I know you may be afraid that, afraid of what happened, but you cannot carry it alone. Tell a trusted adult, a teacher, a coach, a counselor, or a relative, a friend, a parent, a school nurse, a counselor, anyone who can help. If the person doesn't believe you or help you, tell someone else. Keep telling until someone listens. Call a hotline. If you can, tell someone in person, call a hotline. They're trained. They will believe you. They will help you. The National Child Abuse Hotline is 1 800 422 4453. The number again is 1 800 422 4453. And it's 24/7. The National Sexual Assault Hotline is 1 800 656 4673. And it's 24/7. And the crisis line, text home to 741-74. These are confidential. You can talk anonymously. They won't judge you. They will help you figure out the next step. They're confident. You can talk anonymously. They won't judge you. Like I said, you can help. They will help you figure out the next step. A doctor, if you've been physically or sexually abused, you need medical attention. But I know you may not want to. I know it feels you may not invasive. A doctor can provide emergency contraceptives if needed. You may not see. A doctor can provide emergency if you choose to report. If needed. A doctor can make sure you're physically okay if you choose to report. Go to the emergency room. A doctor can make sure you're physically okay. Trained in trauma. Go to the emergency room. With care. Tell them what happened. They're trained in trauma. Don't bathe. They will treat you with care. Don't change clothes. If you choose to report, don't brush your teeth. Don't eat or drink. Don't change clothes. Don't wash your hands. Don't brush your teeth. Don't eat or drink. Say anything evidence can help you decide to report, but evidence can help you decide to report, but reporting is your choice. You get to decide. You're not alone.
But
There are
reporting
people
is your
trained to
choice.
help,
You
and
get
you
to decide
deserve
you're not
help.
alone. There are people trained to help, and you deserve the help.
Like I said, when I finally did reach out, it was 10 years, but I don't want it to be 10 years for anybody else. I want you to get the help as soon as you possibly can, because we all, when we're victims, get the help that you need. Don't wait. Don't let nobody tell you to be scared. Don't be scared of anything. I was little, I was afraid, I didn't know. And if I would have known the things that I know now, I would have came forward. I would have got this over with, and I would have got help sooner because I could be probably a better person. Because I was a handful for 10 years. I didn't give people a chance that they should, owe many people an apology. But that's what trauma does to you when you don't get the help you need. So reach out and get a trauma specialist. If you're a parent, you're looking at this, make sure you know the signs, symptoms, and wonders of your child, because when they pull back and they're not responding to you, or they're not the same happy go lucky child, and the smile don't went away, and they begin to be agitated, or they don't want to be touched, or things that you feel like it wasn't wrong at first, but now it's like, what's wrong with my child? What happened to my happy go lucky son or my daughter? These are the things that's going on. They've been sexually assaulted. And that's what it does to you. It makes you withdraw and pull back, or be aggressive, you probably be mean, and you don't know, that you are being this person. You don't even know that you done changed, but everybody else can see it. And if you're knowing this, then please do not ignore it. Look for the signs, because they are there. Parents, they are there. So don't look for the signs, because they are there. And you need to look for these signs, because they'll tell you that something is going on with your child. And, as we go on, what's happening in your mind? Fragmented memories. You may not remember everything. You may remember only pieces. This is normal. Trauma doesn't record like a video camera. Intrusive doubts. The abuser replays in your mind. You can't stop thinking about it. Difficulty concentrating. You can't focus on anything else. Confusion. You may tell yourself, it wasn't that bad. This was your mind protecting you. Guilt and shame. You may blame yourself. You may think you caused it. You didn't. 'cause I know I did.
Anger, you
Abuser
may
at
be
yourself and
furious
people
at
who
the
didn't
abuser,
protect
at
you.
yourself,
And
and
you can
people
pick
who
back
didn't
up,
protect you. And you can pick back up,
Alfonso and fear. Alfonso and
Where
fear.
we at? What segment are we on now?
We on segment
We
3
we
and
on
we on
segment
fear.
3
And
and we on
Segment
fear.
3.
and
Fear. Self-blame. Past that.
no, we're a little bit above that.
No,
Okay,
we're a
Where it
little bit
say
above
fear. You
that.
might
fear.
be
Where
terrified.
it say fear.
Yes.
Again, I apologize for the technical
Yes.
difficulties tonight, folks. Wow. Okay. Fear. You might be terrified of what'll happen next. Of the abuser, you might fear the abuser, or you might have fear of telling somebody, the repercussions of telling somebody how they might perceive what you're telling them. All of these are normal. All of these are your mind trying to process something that shouldn't have happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So listen carefully. What
Mm-hmm.
happened is not your fault. This is a reoccurring thing we're going to keep saying tonight. This is not your fault. You might think, I should have said, no, you couldn't. Your body was in survival mode. Could have said something like, I should have fought back, but you did what you needed to survive. Could say, I should have told somebody, but you're telling somebody now. And that's enough. You could be saying, it's my fault. I caused this. If I wasn't in the same room with it, but you didn't cause this. Your abuser chose to hurt you. You didn't ask for that. You might say, I'm dirty now, I'm filthy, but you're not. You're a survivor. You might even say, nobody's going to believe you. People will believe you. And if they don't, that's their failure. That's not your fault. That's not your failure that they don't believe you. And that should tell you something else if they don't believe you about something like that that's happening. Maybe those aren't people you should be ever confiding in. The shame you feel belongs to the abuser, actually, not you. Because they should be ashamed of what they did to you. You might not feel anything, or you might feel everything. Some survivors go numb. Some survivors feel empty, like they can't cry. They can't feel scared. Their mind is protecting them from way too much pain at once. Like, it would be very difficult for them to process it. They may shut down all the way together. So the mind protects itself from overwhelming trauma. Excuse me. Other survivors are flooded. They can't stop crying. They're like the total opposite. They're terrified. They're angry. Their nervous systems are overwhelmed. Both situations are normal. Both situations is the body responding in survival mode. So, in the hours and days after the abuse, you might want to hurt yourself. If you're having thoughts of self-harm, call 988. That's the crisis and suicide lifeline. Okay? Talk to somebody. It doesn't hurt to talk to somebody. Somebody's manning that phone 24/7. You could talk to somebody any time of the day. I don't care if it's 3:00 in the morning. If you need to talk, they're there. And they can get to somebody who can get to you that can help you where you need it at. Somebody local to you in your area. You're not alone in this, okay? You might want to hurt the abuser. Yeah, that's very common. I know I did. I wanted to hurt my abuser. I can't imagine anybody who really didn't want to, but that anger is valid. But acting on it actually will hurt you more. Because not only will you be a victim, you will be the one causing them pain and end up possibly in jail or worse, might end up in prison. We don't want you to go that route. We want you to stay free and be the person you're supposed to be, not in the system where the system is known to fail us over and over again. So you want to be angry. It's okay to be angry. but don't act on it. Don't become vengeful and act on it. There's other ways to act on it. True enough. You can't act on it in a positive way, but don't take it into your hands and be judge, jury, and executioner. Okay. We might want to pretend it didn't happen. Like our mind is trying to protect us, but you need to process it. We have to process it. We got to go through that. It's innate, and we just went through it. Why do we want to replay it in our minds? We don't want to. We're trying to get as far away from the thoughts and the feeling of all of it because it just happened. We want to get as far away from that as possible. And what I'm telling you is to do the opposite, to do the exact opposite, to stay in that moment, to focus on everything that just happened, to understand what just happened, okay? You have to do that. You want to tell everyone, or you may not want to tell anybody. Both are okay. You get to decide who knows and who doesn't. You might want to run away. You might feel like you can't stay in your house or you can't stay in your life. That's trauma talking. 988. That's the number you should be calling at that point. Okay. Don't make permanent decisions in the first hours. Wait and talk to someone. Get support first. Obviously, I'll go back to the car accident analogy. When you're in an accident, you look at yourself, just looking at yourself, you say, I'm okay, but you don't know. You might have a cut in the back of your head, but you're not feeling that. But you say, I'm not going to go to the hospital. But you've heard stories. People say, I'm okay. I'll be all right. And they leave. They don't go to the hospital, get checked out. A couple days later, they end up dead. Because something from that accident, it took time to travel or infected them or whatever the case was. And they end up passing away because of that. So it's imperative to go and seek help in these situations because not only is the shame trying to prevent you from it, but your health could be at risk too. You don't know what kind of damage they did to you. You need to find out. And the only person who really can find out is a doctor. You need to go find somebody to help you. So in a trauma state, our minds are racing. We don't make the best decisions in the first week or so, I would say. After that, maybe a month or so, we don't make good decisions after that. So it would probably be necessary or a good idea to try to find a therapist to talk to within that time frame or any time after that, actually, if you're really ready to deal with it or to make good decisions. But we're talking about possibly if this is children. If you're an adult and this just happened to you, try to find a support group or something like that and try to talk to somebody who understands and somebody who can point you in the right
Like you say,
direction
try to
on
get
decisions you
support.
should make.
Your mind is
But
doing
not in
exactly
the
what it's
first few
supposed to do,
hours.
keep you
Not in the
alive.
first few hours.
Be gentle to
Wait and talk to
yourself,
somebody because your mind,
and
obviously, you're not in the right
what
frame of
goes through
mind
your
at that
mind
point
right
in
after,
time.
a lot of stuff goes through your mind right
Okay.
after because you don't know
Your mind is
what's
doing
going on.
exactly
You don't
what
know
it's
what
supposed to
happened.
do.
You don't know what you're doing or what
It's
you're
keeping you
capable
alive.
of. So a lot
So
of
be
things
gentle
happen.
with
So
yourself.
you have to just know that your body
No, that was
is
my phone.
in
I
great
apologize.
shape. So please, please
Let me
take
keep going.
get the help, because
So
you
I'm
end
gonna
up in
pass
a
this on to
great deal of shock. And it's not good. So the grounding techniques, what to do when you're falling apart. Your nervous system is in overdrive. Your mind is fragmented. You need to bring yourself back to the present moment, back to your body, back to now. Grounding techniques to do. You're not a therapist. They're not a therapy. They're not survival tools. Use them when you are feeling like you're falling apart. So you have the techniques. It's called, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sensor grounding. 9, 5 things you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste.
This brings your brain back to the present. It reminds you that you are safe right now in this moment. It's simple. Stand the ceiling, the lamp, my hand,
a
the
picture,
door,
the door,
touch,
touch,
the blanket, the floor,
the floor,
my hair,
my hair,
my shirt,
my shirt,
or my
or my
skin.
skin.
Here,
Here,
the
the
traffic,
traffic,
the
the
fan,
fan,
voices,
voices,
the
the
wind,
wind,
or your
or your
breathing,
breathing,
smell,
smell,
soap, coffee,
coffee,
air, my
my
pillow,
pillow,
taste,
taste,
my
my
mouth,
mouth, salt,
nothing.
nothing.
Do this
Do this
slowly.
slowly.
Really
Really
notice
notice
each thing.
each thing.
Press your feet
Press your
hard
feet
into the
hard into
ground.
the ground.
Feel the floor beneath
Feel the
you.
floor beneath you.
Stop if you need
Stop
to.
if you need to.
Feel your weight.
Feel your weight.
Feel yourself
Feel
here.
yourself here.
Say, my feet
Say,
are
my
on the
feet are
ground.
on the ground.
I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm safe
I'm
right now.
safe right now.
This
This
activates your
activates your
sympathetic
sympathetic
nervous system.
nervous
It
system.
tells your
It
body
tells
you're
your
not
body
in
you're not
danger.
in
No.
danger. No.
The technique drill,
The
you want to
technique drill,
splash
you want to splash cold
water
cold
onto your
water
face.
onto your face.
Hold ice in your
Hold
hand
ice in your hand,
or take a cold
or
shower.
take a cold shower.
Cold activates
Cold activates
your vertebrae
your vertebrae,
nerves.
nerves.
It interrupts the
It interrupts
trauma
the trauma
response. It
response.
brings you back
It
to your
brings you
body.
back to your body.
This is called
This
the
is
dive
called the
response.
dive
It
response.
works.
It works.
Move your body,
Move your body,
shake, dance,
dance, walk,
press a pillar,
press a pillar,
do jumping jacks.
do jumping jacks.
Movement processes
trauma.
It tells your nervous
It tells
system
your
that
nervous system that the dangers
has passed.
has passed.
Your body can move
Your body
freely
can
now.
move freely now.
Don't stay still.
Don't stay still. Move.
Take these 5
Take these 5
breathing. Slow your breathing.
Slow your breathing.
This is the most powerful
This is the
tool
most
you
powerful
have.
tool you have.
Try to breathe
Try
in
to
4
breathe
counts.
in 4 counts.
Hold 4. Breathe out 6.
Breathe out 6.
The long exhale
The long
activates
exhale
your
activates your
parasympathetic
nerves
system. It tells your body
It tells your
safe.
body you are safe.
Do this for 2 to
Do
3
this
minutes.
for 2 to 3 minutes.
Notice how your body
Notice how your body
changes.
changes.
Touch yourself
Touch yourself
gently.
gently.
Wrap yourself in a
Wrap yourself in a
blanket.
blanket.
Hold yourself.
Hold yourself.
Rock backwards and
Backwards
forward.
and forward.
This activates your
This activates your
self-smoothing
self-smoothing
system.
system.
It tells your
It
nervous
tells your
system you
nervous
are being
system you
cared
are being cared
for.
for.
You can
You
care for
can care for
yourself.
yourself.
You deserve that
You
care.
deserve that care.
Your grounding
Your
techniques when
grounding
you are having
techniques when you are
flashback.
having flashback.
You're panicking.
You're panicking.
You can't stop
You
thinking
can't
about
stop
the
thinking
abuse.
about the abuse.
You feel like
You
you're going
feel
to
like
hurt
you're going to
yourself.
hurt yourself.
You're
You're
overwhelmed and can't
can't
function.
function.
There are emergency
There are
tools.
emergency tools.
They're not
They're not long-term
healing, but they can
but
get
they
you
can
through the
get you
next
through the
hour.
next hour.
What Bonnie
What
techniques
techniques
that saved you,
that saved you,
Alfonso?
Alfonso?
Man, I don't know. Because when I think about it, I didn't have any of these techniques when I was going through it. I didn't have any. Imagine these things would have worked, but yeah, I didn't have the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or box breathing. I didn't, ground my feet or I didn't have any of that. I was just trying to maintain on a daily basis, but I didn't know what I was doing and I was trying to just live live and try not to think about it. So I guess I was repressing all that stuff back then. I wasn't living in the moment, but it was, I can imagine how much that would have helped me had I had those tools at the time. The thoughts of suicide probably wouldn't have been so prevalent. The attempts wouldn't have been so grandiose, should I say? Like setting my bed on fire while I was asleep in it, or trying to jump off the second story rooftop. Well, those things probably wouldn't have been so pressing in my head. But yeah, I didn't have any tools to help me. Did you have? Yeah, well, you just said you didn't have any tools. So yeah, we see we're well. I use the me message because I'm not trying to tell on nobody's age, but I'm gonna use the me message. I'm 54 years old, so if you can imagine back in the 1970s, didn't have all the stuff, the connectivity that we have today. So there was no one just readily saying, or a TV show that's saying, if you're experiencing trauma, you're gonna try this stuff. There was none of that. None of that. If you didn't go to a therapist, you would not know about these techniques. And who knew that they needed to go to a therapist? Nobody knew at that time. So it was, how can I say it? It was a very troubling time. That's what I'll say. It was very troubling time because information was not as readily available as it is now. So now we have the internet, we have so much accessibility, it's ridiculous. We don't have to go to libraries to find information anymore. We can sit at home and just stroke a few keys on the keyboard and bam, it's right there in front of our face. But yeah, that was it. This is the main reason I brought up Terror to Triumph, because what we didn't have is now trying to make this a tool for people, this platform a tool for people to find the resources and things that they need, because it's not readily available. I mean, you could walk down the street and there's nothing saying, no billboard saying, have you experienced trauma, call this crisis line or whatever. You don't see none of that stuff. It's not out there. Information is not really available. Even if you go on the internet, you have to literally type it in. They don't have ads coming to you, or are you feeling mental stress or fatigue? Has somebody tried to rape you or touch you inappropriately? There's nothing like that out there for us. We have to create it. And that's what I'm doing with Terror to Triumph. I'm trying to bridge that gap, as I like to say it. Let the right hand, well, this is my right hand. Let the right hand know what the left hand is doing and make them meet. You know what I'm saying? So you got trauma, you got help. Put them together. Okay? So if you have just been abused, you're in crisis, you're in shock, that's not weakness. That's reality. Okay? It's what you're going through right now. And you need support. You need help. Nothing wrong with that, but you do
Call
need
a
help.
hotline. Tell someone. Get to safety. Get a medical help. Do what you need to do to survive right now.
Remember what happened to you, not your fault, right? You have to keep saying that to yourself. Write it down. Believe it.
You're not alone. There are people trying to help, and you deserve help.
You absolutely do. If this information has helped, share this with somebody. Go tell it to somebody who you think might need it. Leave a review for us so more survivors can find Terror to Triumph. Remember, you survived. You're here. And that matters. We'll give you some phone lines to call. National Child Abuse Hotline, 1-800-422-4453. Again, that's the National Child Abuse Hotline, 1-800-422-4453. The next number, National Sexual Assault Hotline. That's 1-800-656-4673. Again, the National Sexual Assault Hotline. It's 1-800-656-4673. Then you have the crisis text line. That's a text line, so you could get on your phone and text. So the crisis text line, you could text HOE to 741-741. So if you remember 741 twice, 741-741, and text home, HOME, you can get somebody to help you that way. And of course, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is 988. Again, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is 988. And this is something in the United States, everybody can call these numbers. Like I said, they're 24/7, 365 days out the year. So they're always on. Somebody's always manning these numbers, and you can always find the support and help that you need. Again, support the show at Terror to Triumph on Buzzsprout.com. Check out the merch on PeltsAporium.com. And remember, self-care isn't selfish. It's the ongoing practice of honoring yourself. And that's what sustains trust. Storm, you have anything else you want to add to the story tonight? Or
Well, I know when you it was at the beginning, and you had I think went out for a minute, but I was telling everybody that you have 24 hours to get to the police station to do your rape kit, 'cause that's all you have.
mm-hmm. That is exactly why the information was there telling you, do not wash. If you want to make the conscious decision to go and report what happened to you to the police, you cannot wash up. You cannot change clothes. Wear the same stuff. If it's torn or something like that, get a blanket or a sheet and put over yourself. Go to the hospital. The hospital will call the police. So you don't have to make 2 trips. You could go straight to the hospital, tell them, hey, I've been assaulted. I've been sexually assaulted. I've been battered. I've been abused. I'm a victim of domestic violence. Whatever the trauma is, go straight to the hospital. Don't wait, hours, because hours is critical in the evidence gathering system that they do when they do the forensic science. They need to do the rape kit and find out what's going on. You might have scrapes, cuts, bruises. It might be DNA in those, You might have scratched the person and you got their DNA up underneath your fingernails. There's no telling. But if you wash up and bathe, you wash all that stuff away. That's why in that first 24 hours, as Storm said, it's critical for you to go to the hospital and tell them of your situation, if that's what you choose to do, if you wish to report your situation. Yes. So that's absolutely true. You're right, Storm, about that. And did I take it you got that information because of your personal experience?
No, I didn't know about it. Yeah,
Wow.
I just found out about it due to a family member that was assaulted, and they had 24 hours to get to the police station.
So you guys see that? Information is not readily out there. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. So as you can see, we're bringing the information to you. As we find it out, we're letting you know. It don't get no realer than that, because we know what to look for as far as survivors go. We know what we've been through as people who didn't have access. So imagine us finding out. That's like you love sweets, you love cakes and stuff like that, right? And you driving down the street and you find they just opened up a bakery in my neighborhood I didn't know nothing about. You're gonna tell everybody, right? because you want everybody to get that good information. Terror to Triumph is the same way with survivors. We find that good information, we bring it straight to you ASAP, as soon as we find out. So
One more
you think?
thing.
Oh, come on, tell me.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
With the 24 hours, because they did it in 24 hours,
Mhm.
those persons all went to jail. They was caught. They all went to jail.
Oh, they were caught.
Yeah, it was six
See.
of them. They was caught.
Lord have mercy. I'm so grateful to hear that. I'm glad.
Because that's why the rape kit, DNA, because the fingernails, everything mattered.
Wow. So it was very crucial to the planning, to the police and everything in that situation, that the information was able to be gathered and then disseminated or used to find out who did what and where to find them.
Because when they're already in a criminal system with the DNA, because everything under the fingernails, it mattered. When she scratched these particular persons, and you connect the dots, because one person going to tell on the other person, because they're going to say, I wasn't by myself.
Mhm.
And it wasn't that all of them was caught because of DNA. It was caught because it's like they didn't want to go down by themselves.
Wow. Even know what to say about that one. I mean, I got some things to say. Don't get me wrong. I want to say some stuff, but I don't think that would be appropriate for our show for me to talk about stuff like that, because that's our criminal justice system. And we need those guys to do what they need to do to help keep us safe and keep people that need to be off the street. And they're a critical part of the process.
And another dime, if they do get caught and they're victims of sexual assault, I know that this feels bad, but it's up to you to keep fighting for them not to come out. You have to go to those trials. You have to go to when they say, we need you to decide if they take parole or not. And you can stop them from getting parole. But you got to do your work. And I do apologize. I know that hurt you, but you have to do your homework and do the work.
Well, you heard it first from a victim who knows firsthand. It's a system that is flawed, but we have the wherewithal within ourselves to go and be present and speak our voices to this. Now,
Yeah, because if you don't, they will be paroled. They will be released. And they back out on the street. Guess what? To do it again.
And I pray that's not the case.
That's the case in a minute in many situations, because many people will tell you, yeah, I did it, and when they release me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna do it again.
Well, if they saying stuff like that, they never gonna be released.
But that
is not incumbent upon the victim. That's a problem within the parole system itself. If they're saying they're going to do it again and parole still release them, that's a problem.
Because they're not going to say it in front of parole. But the reason why you have metal detectors and you have things placed in the jurisdiction system is because people start taking guns to the courthouse. And when they release the person, they was like, okay, I'm gonna go to jail because I'm gonna go ahead on you because I'm not gonna allow you to be released. Because a guy shot his father because his father was paroled, and he said that I'm gonna get your daughters again because he raped both of his twin daughters. So he shot his daddy in his head in the courtroom.
I remember that story. I actually remember that story. Well, it's like we just said, you had to do your due diligence. You have to go to the court and report and speak your voice. Let your voice be heard. If you don't, you have to suffer through the consequences of them possibly being paroled. If you think that they're a menace to society and they have not changed, or you don't think that they will ever change, you need to speak up. And we are out of time for tonight. We have to get up out of here. Thank you again, Storm, for being my co-host. I appreciate you so much. Guys, be safe out there. Keep your head on the swivel. Seek the help that you need. If you're already in the process of talking to a therapist, continue. Do the work. Don't give up. It gets better. For those who haven't sought help yet, know that you're not alone. And there are many of us out here, many, many millions of us out here in your same position who didn't know which way to turn. And now you have a system set up in place to link the dots. You can get help. We can give you the information. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your loved ones, tell everybody about Terror to Triumph to help keep the movement going and help keep the healing happening. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and again on Saturday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are signing out, Alfonso and Storm. This has been Terror to Triumph, and we thank you for coming. Have a good night.